station. This is Houston. Are you ready for the event?
Houston, space station here. We're ready for the event.
And Houston Chronicle, this is Mission Control Houston. Please go ahead and call station for a voice check.
Okay, this is Eric Berger.
Eric Berger, Mike Fossum with you, loud and clear.
Hey, Mike, good morning. How are you?
Hey, I'm living the dream. How about you?
Well, I'm not quite that high, but in space, but I appreciate that. So I want to start with an important question, Mike. Your Twitter handle is Aggie or Astro Aggie, and so I know you're a big fan. But your Aggies have blown 3 second-half double-digit leads this year. Should the coach be fired?
Absolutely not. He's doing a great job. When you're just a handful of points away from 3 wins, a lot of things are going right.
Talk about the technology that you have in space to be able to watch football games. Is it something that has to be uploaded to you, or are you able to watch the games when you have some time off? How does that work?
There's several different ways of doing it. One is they can send it up live. If it's on television and readily available, they can ship it up when we have the right kind of satellite coverage up here. And we've watched a little bit that way. We catch some news sometimes. Certainly the big events. We watched the Progress launch live a few days ago, and we look forward to watching a Soyuz launch live in another week and a half. For games and special things like that of interest for us, they turn those into video files and uplink them for us so we can watch those later at our own time. For me, I get some television shows sent up, as well as Aggie games and church sermons from my church in Houston.
Okay. You've been up in space for a while now. What do you miss most about Texas?
Well, gee, I really missed not being home for the summer this year. Sorry, I know it's been a brutal summer. One of the benefits of this particular schedule has been missing out on an entire summer. We went over to Russia while it was still a little bit cool in Houston area last spring to go through the final preparations. What I miss the most, of course, is my family, my wife and my kids and my granddaughter, who I can't wait to see in a few weeks.
Yeah, you missed the hottest and driest summer on record here in the States, so I don't think you have a lawn anymore, I'm sorry to say.
I'm sure that's true. My family has intentionally not sent any pictures to me.
So you've had an interesting rotation with the Progress launch problems. Has it been challenging going back to a 3-person crew on the station after being at 6 for a while?
There's pluses and minuses associated with it. Certainly, it's very busy because the station requires a certain amount of care and feeding. Once you take care of the care and feeding, which is mandatory, then you get the science. And I know that's not our priority, but the fact is you have to clean the things, replace things, stuff like that. And so we've had our hands full keeping the science load moving forward, and we've done a good job of that. I'm proud of that. So there, in ways, it's, there's a little, you don't have to wait for the right piece of equipment when you go to the gym because there's, no lines for the treadmill or for the resistive exercise machine. And so there's some benefits from having fewer people. Some things take a little less time because we just have 3. It's been an enjoyable time for us. We're close friends from 3 corners of the world, and we've had the chance to spend more time together. But we definitely look forward to the new guys showing up soon.
Yeah, at the same time, you mentioned you guys spend time together, but it's a big place, so you can go quite a while without seeing someone, right, when you're working during the day?
We work, often we'll work in different corners or different areas. There's 2 of us down here on the U.S. end of the station, if you will, Satoshi Furukawa and myself, and we're helping each other a little bit more. Sergei Volkov spends a good bit of his time down in the Russian segment, which is down back this way behind me. We're in the U.S. lab today. And so we make a point of going down there, and having a quick coffee with Sergei, and we get together for lunch and dinner. So we may be working in different areas, but we keep touch with each other. So we all, in case of an emergency, it's important to know where people are working, especially if you're not going to be in one of the prime work areas. And right now, Sergei's working down in the Progress ship that docked yesterday. So he let me know that, hey, I'm going to be down in the Progress. So if you plan on going anywhere, come get me.
Yeah. Speaking of the Progress cargo ships, you took an amazing photo, I think it was last week, of a cargo ship burning up in the Earth's atmosphere. Did you think about what was burning up inside that ship when you took the photo?
Oh, you bet. I helped pack it. And so it was kind of funny. I got a series of photos there. And so it was interesting to see as for a short amount of time, you could really see some details. The lighting and everything worked out great. And you could see, big pieces that were glowing as their own bright spark as the ship was coming apart. So that was quite interesting. Yeah,
tell me about your photography background. Are you an amateur photographer, or you just have such a great vantage point up there? It's easy to get these shots. You do a very nice job.
Well, thanks, Eric. No, I'm a hack. I like photography, but I've never had much training outside of what NASA provides to us. But I have a lot of interest in it, particularly the low light photography, because it brings out things that you can see once you get in the cupola and really light adjust or light adapt to the darkness, just as you can when you get away from the city lights and get away from lights, even in Texas, even in the area around Houston, and adjust. And you see a lot more stars after you're looking for 20 minutes or so to adjust to the light. So up here, the cameras can do that same thing for us and capture that view so that we can share it, because it's really amazing, particularly the city lights. And the Earth lit by moonlight is very interesting too, as well as, of course, the aurora, which was not a significant feature on my previous 2 space flights. A little green glow on the horizon was about all we got, but man, we have flown through it this time and have been able to capture some of that. It's great.
Yeah, those have been some pretty amazing shots as well. You were on the station before the cupola and after the cupola. What kind of a difference does that make in terms of being able to look back at Earth?
It really, the cupola is, it's such a window, and to me it's an amazing thing. I have a history with it. I was working on the space station redesign back in the early 90s, and the cupola came perilously close to being eliminated from the program. And there was an astronaut now deceased named Charles Lacey Veach, who really gave it everything he had to fighting the fight to make sure everybody understood the value of the cupola, not just for watching the Earth, but to support robotic operations. And I can't imagine reaching out and grabbing the free flyer HTV cargo ship and the future ones that are coming without that direct eyeball view. So it has a very definite operational need, but the value to just the human to see the Earth go by, and because of the angles, we can see the stars too. And that's something that you can't see. The lab has a window right underneath me. It's primarily dedicated to scientific instruments right now. But even if it wasn't clustered with other cameras, you can't really see the horizon, and certainly can't see the stars. So that's the cupola's really huge benefit.
So there have been a couple of successful Progress launches since the problems. Do you feel confident that the Russians have ironed out the issues that with the Soyuz and Progress launch vehicles?
I believe so, Eric. They with as many successful launches as they've had for many years, it's clearly not a design problem. So it goes back to some kind of a process problem. And they went all the way through those. They tore them apart. They rebuilt the engines to make sure there were no questions, no lingering concerns. And it's a great successful launch. And I think these launches are going to be some of the highest probability success launches ever, because all attention is on every detail, and maybe a renewed emphasis on some of the details. Something escaped us somewhere. That's pretty clear when a ship goes down like that. But I think we're in really great shape. The launches have been flawless, and I look forward to another one in a week and a half.
Hey, what have you learned about yourself after nearly 6 months in zero gravity?
You know, I really thought 6 months, half a year, that's a huge chunk out of your life, and I thought this would just go on forever. But there must be something to Einstein's theories of relativity, speed and time, because this has gone by in a flash. I can't believe we've been up here 5 months. There's no way. And it surprises me just how quick the days go by and the weeks and months tick by. So, and I've enjoyed the opportunity to really dig in and live what literally was a childhood dream of living and working on a space station. As some people were dreaming about going to the moon, I really did dream about living on a space station. And so this has been just a great thing for me.
Well, Mike, have a safe trip home later this month. Thanks very much for the time.
Thanks, Eric. Great talking to you. I look forward to seeing you in a few weeks.
Station, this is Houston ACR. That concludes the event.
To you, Eric Berger from Houston Chronicle. We appreciate your time today. Station, please stand by while we reconfigure the video and audio comms.